sincerely, almost as if he was bowing down to apologize.
Aaron, I'm really sorry.
It's okay, Harrison, it's not your fault. But honestly, I might be at my limit.
But I want to be with you, Aaron.
I don't want to be apart from you either, Harrison. We approached our wedding day believing in the strong bond between the two of us. The wedding day itself was filled with a hectic schedule. Right after the wedding ceremony, we quickly changed into and waited. During that time, there was no time to catch our breath with photo shoots and greeting relatives. But it was still heartwarming to be congratulated by so many people saying, "Congratulations, you look beautiful." Despite everything, I'm glad we made it to this day. While taking a short break in the family waiting room and chatting lightly with relatives, my mother-in-law suddenly spoke up. "May I have a moment, please?" My mother-in-law shouts. Everyone turns their gaze to my mother-in-law. "Isn't that Harrison's mother?" Aunt Sally softly nudges me on the ear. "Yeah, I wonder what's going on." My mother-in-law clears her throat lightly and begins to speak. "Thank you all for attending today's gathering. I truly appreciate it." My mother-in-law behaves as if she's the center of attention. With a sarcastic smile, she continues to speak, addressing me. "While I'm grateful for a day like today, there's one fortunate thing. Erin, my daughter-in-law, didn't come over to greet me properly to pay her respects, as is customary. This is common sense for someone joining the family, isn't it? Isn't it something important? Unfortunately, it seems Erin still lacks that kind of consideration. But please, rest assured. As for Erin, who only finished junior high, I'll make sure to discipline her properly," she says, lowering her head deeply. Did she think applause would happen? When she raised her head, she still had a proud and smug expression. The waiting room fell silent in an instant. I sat there with my strength drained, not knowing what had happened.
Aaron, are you okay?
Harrison rushes over in a panic, but I can't seem to gather my thoughts. To think that on a day of celebration, a joyous occasion, someone could disrupt the atmosphere like this. Can that really be something a parent would do? As I stand there dumbfounded, the aunt beside me gently places her hand on my shoulder and softly breaks. I'm the bride's aunt. Quietly, she began to tell me about my upbringing. My niece lost her parents early and worked desperately, putting herself second for the sake of her brother. I truly cherished such a niece and still regard her as my own daughter. My aunt then glanced sharply at my mother-in-law. I will not allow my precious niece to marry into your family. This marriage never happened. My mother-in-law was left gaping in shock at my aunt's unexpected retaliation. Erin, you have a place to come back to. My aunt pleaded, tears streaming down her face. I too couldn't help but shed tears at her sight, as we embraced each other, quietly shedding tears.
Sis, I want you to be happy. Don't go to a house with such a mean mother-in-law.
My younger brother Tanner offered further support.
What are you saying? How rude.
My mother-in-law finally snapped out of her daze and started to argue back. But Tanner persisted.
Who's being rude here? Can't you distinguish between right and wrong?
He countered with a chillingly cold stare. My mother-in-law fell silent in the face of Tanner's fierce response. In the noisy waiting room, people were only talking bad about my mother-in-law.
Even if it's just bullying, that's unacceptable, isn't it? And on a day of celebration, no less? What are you thinking?
Absolutely, it's beyond embarrassing. My mother-in-law's face turned pale, perhaps realizing the magnitude of her wrongdoing. And to top it off,
Mom, I'm cutting ties with you. What you did is the worst as a human being. I can't forgive you.
Harrison publicly disowned his mother in front of everyone. Truthfully, this decision had already been made in Harrison's heart. He had planned to smoothly get through the wedding and then inform his mother afterward.
What? Cutting ties? What do you mean?
My mother-in-law was wide-eyed and surprised.
It means exactly what it sounds like. I'm going to be listed as part of Aaron's family.
What? Hold on, what are you saying, Harrison?
No matter how many times my mother-in-law called him, Harrison ignored her. The wedding that day went fairly smoothly, but my mother-in-law had a dark expression, almost like at a funeral. And finally, feeling unwell, she left her seat midway and didn't return. I felt truly relieved that my mother-in-law had left. People who didn't know the situation were surprised at the mother of the groom's departure, but the MC and Harrison managed to cover it up somehow so her absence wasn't noticeable. Actually, during the change of attire, I unexpectedly ran into my mother-in-law in the hallway. Mother-in-law, you often talked about what's important as a person, right? What do you think is really important? I'm glad I married Harrison. It helps me not to lose sight of what's important. How about you, mother-in-law? I muttered to myself, wondering if that had any effect. And then Harrison was officially registered as my spouse. As for my brother Tanner,
Harrison having the same last name as me feels somehow reassuring.
he seemed happy, as if he gained a real brother. Meanwhile, at the wedding, my mother-in-law received criticism from all the relatives for her remarks. Even when we attended family gatherings, she was invited, completely isolated because they were afraid she might cause trouble again. Cut off even by her only son, she truly became lonely and isolated. She spends every day crying in loneliness and sorrow. When neighbors asked if something had happened to my mother-in-law, Harrison and I explained the situation. It's amazing how rumors spread so quickly, even in the neighborhood. There are whispers about our mother-in-law, even among the neighbors. I struggled to understand why she spoke so contemptuously of me in front of so many people. But perhaps, because of that, everyone learned about her maliciousness, which may have been for the best in the end. Since marrying, Harrison has always been kind to me, truly an ideal husband. Every day is filled with happiness, and I'm grateful for our marriage. Living with my brother Tanner, it truly was the best decision. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed the video, please like the video and subscribe to our channel. See you in our next video.